What's up YouTube? This is Living with Les here. Today we are going to be talking about our investing portfolio. We've gone into what platform we use, what our overall strategy is, and today we're going to dig deep into our portfolio and look at the actual investments and how we pick our stocks. So there are three most important things we look at when deciding what companies to put in our portfolio. Number one of those being dividend growth history. So we like to see that a company has gradually increased their dividend at a steady pace over time. So some companies do this they have a previous record of about 5 years up to about 60 years. So that just tells how long a company has been dedicated to growing their dividend. So the second thing we look at, number two, is company stability and having lower volatility. So this tends to go hand in hand with a company that has gradually increased their dividend over time. Because these companies are a little bit older and have a more steady income stream and they pay those out to their shareholders. But we really like to see that a company is not going huge swings up and down, but has a steady curve upwards over time. So after narrowing down our companies by these first two criteria, the third thing we decide for our portfolio is if we believe in long-term value in a company. So industries like oil specifically, they have companies that align with these first two criteria, but we don't necessarily agree with the long-term stability of oil. We hope at least that renewable energy is more on the come up and that oil will be a little bit more obsolete in the coming years and a little bit more longer term. So these are the types of companies that we do not have in our portfolio.
All right, so the next thing that we want to call out here is a huge common mistake. And that's when you're looking at stocks and investments that you're looking for the highest dividend yield. You do not want to do this. So take our portfolio as an example. On average, our yield's about 3%. And that's pretty on the safe end. Anything I would say that's above 6% as a dividend yield should notify you as like a red flag, because this could mean that a company is over leveraged. They have a lot of debt. You know, this could mean that it's the first time that they're having a dividend for the most recent 5 years or so. This could mean so many things, and typically with such a high yield, it's not sustainable, because in the end, the money has to come from somewhere. So maybe in the short term, if you got something with a high dividend yield, it would work, but it is not sustainable. So just keep in mind, if it sounds too good to be true, it typically is.
Now we're going to get into some tools that we've used to help us along our journey. So the first one I'll mention is called Stock Screener. So within here, you can choose any number of filters to sort through companies that may be of interest to you. So this one's really good for just starting out if you have no idea where to start, just to find a list of companies to look into further. And the next tool is called Seeking Alpha. So this is one that we still continue to use. This is a great place to, whatever companies you're interested in, be able to look into their financials, look into their dividend history, more details about the company, and be able to track it along the way. So we actually have like a virtual portfolio, I guess, built within Seeking Alpha, which has all the investments that we have within M1, and it just lists more details about them there. So this is a great resource to use along your way as well.
Okay, so now we have something big, huge for you guys, okay? We're gonna talk about our master list, which is our portfolio, which is called Dividend Aristocrats, okay? So we have a link in the description that links you to a beautiful, completely credible Wikipedia page. And so here you're gonna see that the Dividend Aristocrats, they really aligned with all of our investing values. They have that history, they have the dividend growth and all of that, less volatile. So look into the Dividend Aristocrats. This is pretty much a reflection of pretty much what our portfolio looks like. We took out some companies towards our liking, and we'll definitely have another video talking about that later. But this list is a great guide point if this is something that you guys are interested in. So make sure to check out that link in the description so that way you guys can learn about the Dividend Aristocrats.
So that's going to do it for today's video. We talked about our main brokerage accounts and what our strategy is to pick stocks for it. In future videos, we're going to be getting into our Roth IRA accounts, might get into my 401k, any other content like this. If you enjoyed, please give it a like. If you want to see more content like this, please, it really helps for a subscription, so smash the like button below, and we'll see you next week. This has been Living with Less.